Hello family, how are you? I'm Betty Lascano and it's a pleasure for me to be a part of your lives. Today I bring you a tutorial. I know some of you might not be familiar with this trend while others may have already seen it around. It is a very prominent strand at the front. This technique is ideal for people who have a lot of gray hair at the front and want to conceal it with an effect like the one we are going to create a bit more. It is also for young girls and people of any age, such as teenagers, for example. You can tone this strand according to the color of your hair at the moment. How about we start with this tutorial, because you're going to learn a bit more about an interesting new technique. My model is going to be Catalina. She is a collaborator of Betty Lascano. I want you to observe the length of her hair. She has approximately about 4 centimeters of hair regrowth because she didn't dye her hair during the long quarantine duration, and her ends are at somewhat of a dark golden blonde with a slight coppery tint. The section I am going to create will be from ear to ear, about 4 centimeters, and in the bangs I will make an inverted V. I will separate the hair to start working on Katie. The formula I am going to use, which is a commonly used mixture in hair treatments, will be 3 caps of bleaching powder plus 10 volume cream developer, along with the intensive therapy ampoule specially for brittle hair to ensure the best results. Every time you are going to do a bleaching, a dye, any color work or any type of chemical procedure, I recommend that you apply a high quality and nourishing hydrating serum, such as, for instance. With this, you will protect your hair from dehydration, and overall, when you perform the process of bleaching, your hair will have significantly greater resistance. It is extremely important to thoroughly hydrate the hair before any chemical process. We are applying Yenvir's extreme softness. This is a hydrating serum that is excellent for this type of work. We are going to start working with Katie. We will take small sections, very thin, and we will apply the bleach while respecting the growth. This precision is crucial for ensuring the desired results, treating each section with care. I am going to use aluminum foil so that this lightening process takes less time and we can have control over the bleaching. If your ends start to become overly sensitive, we thoroughly and carefully clean the ends and properly avoid the risk of damaging the hair. Whenever you are doing a bleaching process, it is extremely important to keep a very close eye on the bleaching at all times, because there are occasions when there are chemical processes that are not noticeable and clients do not tell us that they have some chemical process in their hair. We assume that the hair is in very good condition, and when we apply the bleach, oh, surprise, the ends start to break. So to prevent that, it is extremely important that when you are doing a bleaching, you use aluminum foil and absolutely constantly check how the hair is reacting to the bleaching process. If you see that the ends are weakening, you can clean them and leave the bleach where the hair is healthy and needs lightening. We are going to work on both sides in the same way, with very thin sections, carefully and precisely respecting the growth. If you apply it to the roots before achieving the lightening process, it might happen that the client, friend, or mom starts feeling the bleach itching sensation at the roots. So you won't be able to continue with the bleaching because the bleach is already bothering them at the roots, for example, in this instance. Remember, the root is until the very end, and this is very easy to actually lighten, so you definitely won't have any problems at all. Once we finish working on the sides of the hair, we will then move to the front part and work on it diagonally, taking very thin sections of the hair, just as we carefully did on the sides, ensuring that it is done properly and neatly. It is of critical importance that the segments are indeed very thin, because this way you will achieve better lightening and be able to assess how the lightening process is progressing without risking any dark spots. Black spots or stains in the hair are sometimes due to taking sections of hair that are too thick, where the bleach doesn't actually reach, and when it's time to wash, oh, indeed, surprise, they realize that there are stains in the hair. It is extremely crucial to take very thin sections, and with that, I can confidently guarantee that you will certainly achieve the most optimal results, including even bleaching from roots to ends for a harmonious and healthy look. Once the bleach application is completely finished, we will then give Catalina a processing time of approximately 15 minutes with heat for the best results. If you don't have a heat activator, you can give it a processing time of approximately 20-25 minutes. But during that time, you have to constantly check the bleaching process, how it's going, if the hair is doing well, if it's not breaking. Always keep checking the bleaching process. Once the exposure time with heat has passed, Anna will check the hair, apply bleach where needed, and clean the ends, making sure that the hair is evenly processed and looks perfect. Remember that I told you previously, if the ends become sensitive or if the ends have already lightened, it is better to clean them thoroughly and carefully to ensure that the hair does not get over-processed and damaged. If you carefully observe, Anna has already cleaned the hair ends very thoroughly and attentively and meticulously applied the bleach where it was needed. She is definitely going to clean all the ends, and that way the hair won't get damaged. Once we have thoroughly finished checking all the hair, we will give a natural processing time of approximately 10 minutes. We will not apply heat here. It's time to make the root formula, and for this I will use 3 caps of bleaching powder, which is a common ingredient in hair treatments, plus 10 volume cream developer and half an ampule of intensive therapy, which is known for its nourishing properties. We are going to apply this formula to all the regrowth. Remember that it is very important and necessary to remember that it is extremely important not to apply very high peroxides on the scalp because they can burn the scalp. There are people who have developed blisters and significant blisters. They have experienced hair loss on their scalp. I highly recommend that you use 10 and 20 volumes, as 30 is very high, which is not advisable. There are individuals who are extremely sensitive, and you can cause them potentially serious scalp burns. Once applied to the entire scalp, we will start carefully and methodically removing each of the aluminum foil packets one by one to allow the bleach to oxygenate more thoroughly and completely, and we will not touch the ends at all. We are only going to carefully apply the bleach to the scalp, and we are not going to touch the ends. The processing time on Katie's ends was approximately 20 minutes in total. There are indeed people who have hair darker than Katie's. Sometimes it can be up to 30 minutes. But if the person is extremely sensitive and is saying, you know what, I can't take it anymore, no, I can't do this anymore, the hair needs to be washed, even if they don't achieve the lightening process, if the person cannot absolutely tolerate it, you have to thoroughly wash the hair. And immediately after applying all the bleach to the regrowth, we will definitely give it a natural processing time of 20 minutes. After that time, we rinse the bleach with cold water and we are left with a yellow base. A yellow that is slightly coppery, but it is indeed the perfect base to apply a violet, which is the shade that Catalina definitely wants. With this tone, I will definitely get a fantasy violet. I don't want a dark violet, that's why I lighten the bleach a bit more. We are going to remove the bleach residues with a deep cleansing shampoo so that when we apply the color, it will adhere better. I want you to notice that Katie's hair is extremely, incredibly resilient because we use 10 volume developer throughout the entire process. Remember that it is always better to use a low volume developer for better results. Do you love the world of beauty and would you like to learn how to do colorings, cut hair, makeup, hairstyles and much more and even more? I want to tell you that this channel is specially designed just for you. So I invite you to subscribe and hit the bell to activate notifications and receive all the new videos, updates and exciting content. Remember, Catalina had 4 cm of natural growth. She hadn't dyed her hair because of the quarantine. I am going to even out the tone of the back part, but taking into account the natural color since she wants to darken it, and for this I am going to do a color bath. The calculation I am going to utilize will be approximately 90 ml of 10 volume cream developer, in addition to about 50 g of 50 dye. This dye does contain ammonia. This is a formula that I want to share with you for people who want to do color rinses and can't find ammonia-free dyes. A regular dye can also work for you. That is why we are going to use, as I mentioned, exactly half of the 50 dye plus approximately 90 ml of 10 volume developer. We are going to thoroughly apply this formula all over the back part, throughout the hair, and we will apply it very generously, making sure to cover every strand completely. It is extremely important that when you are going to do any type of coloring, you apply a generous amount of product to achieve outcomes with more brilliance, firmer, and more vibrant colors. Some people use very little dye and it doesn't fully fill the hair cuticle, which is why the dyes fade very quickly. Moreover, it is crucial to ensure that the product is applied evenly to get the best results. In Catalina's case, we are thoroughly saturating the hair completely with this color bath. We are going to give this color bath an approximate duration for processing of about 20 minutes. Let's make the formula for Catalina's strand. I will use approximately 90 ml of 10 volume developer plus half of Fantasy Tone 0.22, which is a pearly violet tone, to about 45 ml in total. We are going to mix it precisely and perfectly well and apply it to the strand. Remember that it has to be applied very generously. Some people often ask me, Betty, why are you mixing a fantasy tone with developer? Fantasy tones are generally not mixed with developer, quite often. Remember that it is absolutely very important and essential to follow the supplier's instructions. There are suppliers who will tell you that their fantasy tone is applied in a direct manner, and that's how you should apply it. But actually, there are many suppliers who will tell you this fantasy tone is applied with cream developer. And if you don't apply it with cream developer, that fantasy tone will not activate. So it is extremely crucial and very important that you are open to what the brand suggests and indicate as well as. You must follow the brand guidelines to always get very good results, because sometimes you will see me applying a fantasy tone directly without using peroxide, and other times you will see me applying a fantasy tone with peroxide. Why? Because I am following what the brand is telling me, and that is what I want you to do. Be open to learning. Don't shut down when you see something different. Ask why they are doing it that way if you thought it was done this way. It is very important that you always ask questions, and with that, you will definitely learn a lot more. We will allow a processing time of approximately 20 minutes. You can leave it on longer if you want more intensity in the violet tone. You can leave it on for up to 40 minutes. We are going to let it sit for about approximately 20 minutes. We will thoroughly wash with color retention shampoo to set the color and then seal it with the firm color mask. Remember that it is very important to apply the indicated products correctly so that the color does not fade. Treatments are extremely important because you can absolutely leave the salon with a beautiful color, but if you get home and wash it with a very harsh shampoo and mask, believe me, the color won't last at all. Definitely not. We are definitely going to cut Catalina's hair a little bit more since she wants a much shorter mane. I didn't record the cut because I already have plenty of videos on this topic available on the channel. Let's move to touches with Catalina. Steffi will handle makeup and Anna will handle hairstyle. We are going to use Hydrated Smooth, this moisturizing serum that leaves perfectly straight hair free of frizz. Once straightened, we will seal this perfect straightness with Drops of Life, which is liquid keratin. Here we are already indeed seeing the before and after of Katie. Look how her face definitely looks so much brighter. This effect is really advantageous because we all definitely want to brighten our face and complexion, and without loading it with highlights, we can certainly achieve this coloration. So I invite you to engage in the practice of this technique and play with this strand by applying the various beautiful and vibrant color you. Thank you family for really joining me in this video tutorial. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and share it. Sending you a big hug and many blessings. See you in the next video.